Hey Wellness Crew, I'm Jenna L. Tripp from the podcast The Cult of Wellness, which is only available on Spotify. And today's video is related to episode 2, which is about inner work. In today's podcast, I talked about journaling some. So I got the idea to share with you the shadow questions I've most recently done to aid in my unlocking and unleashing blocks. I do have my computer right here real quick, so I apologize if I'm looking down. So I can learn more about myself and daily doing the work to heal. Please like and subscribe for more content that's like this. And you can always feel free to email me at cultofwellnessco@gmail.com. I'm going to give you a list of shadow work questions. And when you're answering these questions, try to answer them from the most authentic place that you possibly can, from your truth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the question and then kind of maybe talk a little bit about it, or maybe kind of what my response was, for this question, just in case it will help. How would your authentic self, and there goes a microphone. It's progress, not perfection. How would your authentic self behave versus your people-pleasing self? This one is really hard for people that have a lot of anxiety. I used to have a lot of anxiety. It's something I still occasionally struggle with, but it's not something that's controlling my life anymore. I have a really good support system around me, so when I'm thinking about how my authentic self would behave, it would be someone that's in touch with her feminine side. It would be someone who is open to receive things from people as well as give back. My authentic self wouldn't be hung up on jealousy and hung up on anger and frustration because I'm so focused on the positive. My people-pleasing self, though, that's just something that a lot of people will create just to kind of make things easier. But in truth, what you're doing is you're not speaking up for yourself. You're not allowing yourself to express your emotions and your feelings, and you're bottling all these things up. So it may seem like a nice thing to do, but really it's better to please yourself and to create your boundaries rather than go around trying to please everybody else, because you can't make everybody else happy. And that's one of the biggest things I've had to learn. What makes your mental health better? When do you notice a decline in your mental health? I would say for this one, routine is such a big component of it. I know that there's a lot of mental health issues out there, but when you're thinking about, what makes you feel better, like what comforts you, what gets you out of that rut, some days you just do need that rest, and that's totally okay. Sometimes you can notice a decline when you have an increase in agitation, an increase in limiting beliefs, things like that. Those would be the things that I would definitely, pay attention to. What is something you have been procrastinating on and why? So everyone has at least one thing that they're procrastinating on. For me, for sure, I had to identify exactly what it was. And in order for me to do that, I had to identify what my passion was and what I wanted to do. And so once I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, now I have to show up and do it. I need to stop procrastinating. I need to make the best of the situation and the talents that have been bestowed upon me. So it's just, working harder, to become your authentic self and to really feel yourself. And like when I do these videos, I'm in myself, I feel myself for sure. What scares you the most? What can you do today that scares the crap out of you? So, what scares me the most is change, ironically. And I've been making so much change, making a lot of progress, I feel humbly, you know. But I definitely want to continue on the ride that I'm on. I definitely want to continue to improve and become a better person, make my podcast better, make these videos better eventually. Um, you know, so fear, change obviously scares me because it comes from a limiting belief of, well, Jen, if you start to change, you're not going to be able to do it. And it's like, not true. I can do it. I'm the best. What can you do today that scares the crap out of you? I would say start with something small, but something that maybe you don't normally do. Like maybe you haven't left your house in a while, or maybe you have stopped doing something that you enjoyed doing. Maybe just trying to go back and do those things, trying to be more social, kind of exposing yourself a little bit to something that you fear does not have to scare the crap out of you, but it should be something kind of scary so that way, you're becoming a stronger person. What are my biggest fears and how can I work through them? So we're all going to have so many different fears, but mine was definitely failure and not meeting my potential and not feeling like I'm going to be in a place where I'm going to be able to actually meet it. And by using, the skills that I possess, missing that aspect of being a coach and missing that aspect of having something that I'm doing on the regular, So this was important for me personally to just kind of really embark on. And then working through them, I think it's just when you're afraid of something, you do it and you keep on showing up and it doesn't matter, you know, what someone else says or thinks, or even if you have a limiting belief, you can just say, no, I don't think that way anymore. I don't believe that way. That's not my identity. What false beliefs am I holding on to and how can I challenge them? And I just keep losing my microphone. All right, so false beliefs, definitely, negative thoughts. Those are the biggest things for me. So false beliefs are negative thoughts, thinking, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not worthy of receiving this, or I am in a place where I can't reach the next level. It's just, limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs. So I challenge them by saying the complete opposite, and usually that works for me. What is the root cause of my anxieties and how can I heal them? So I would spend a lot of time on this question and really try to think about, okay, when did these certain anxieties begin to manifest? When did they start, like the year? And then think about what was going on that year, what was happening, what occurred that brought on this anxiety, and why are you still carrying on to it? The past is the past, and we can definitely leave it there where it belongs. What is the root cause of my unhealthy patterns and how can I break them? Again, this one you're going to want to spend a lot of time on because you really do want to find what the root is of your unhealthy patterns. And you're going to also want to maybe document it, journal it, and then you can start to pay attention to what they are And then that way you can kind of see, and then you can work on replacing them or changing them. So again, it's all you want everything to come from a place of, okay, let's take something that's, could be perceived as negative, but let's make it a positive. Like, this challenge is going to help me because I'm going to grow as a person. What triggers my feelings of unworthiness, and how can I overcome them? For me, feelings of unworthiness, they used to stem from relationships. So at this point in time, I'm much more confident and I'm much more together about those things. Um, so that, I think, for me was a big thing that triggered my feelings of unworthiness. And I overcame it by doing a lot of inner work and by really wanting to be a woman that, someone wants to show up for. What is the source of my inner pain and how can I release it? So to me, this relates to trauma. I am a survivor of certain types of abuses. I don't really want to go any further than that. But that definitely caused a lot of inner pain, and how I was able to release it was by forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness even of the people that abused me in the worst ways that you can probably think of. It's not so much for them. It's more for yourself, just to be able to be like, okay, I'm in control of the narrative. I'm in control of not being a victim anymore, or at least not behaving like one anymore. What is the lessons I need to learn from my current struggle, and how can I grow from it? So, whatever you're struggling with right now, always try to see it as a learning opportunity. That's been one of my biggest shifts, and it's really helped me to try and see, okay, what is my higher power or whatever? What are they trying to teach me in this moment? Or what am I getting sent to from the universe, if you want me to talk all cosmic? You know, what about this struggle can I make into a positive, or make primarily into a learning experience? So that way, if we ever face anything like this again, it's much less of a struggle and we're much less triggered. And last question, what is the cause of my self-sabotaging behavior and how can I overcome it? So, I think a lot of self-sabotaging behavior just comes from fear. Comes from thinking that you're not worthy enough to deserve the life that you want. And I really harp on this a lot because I tell it to myself a lot, makes me feel better, because I am deserving of the life that I want and I can create the life that I want. If I'm self-sabotaging, it's because one of my old identities is kind of starting to come up and be like, whoa, too much change, or oh, I'm scared. So just letting yourself know you are safe, you're loved, you're secure, and just keep telling yourself that over and over and over again. And hopefully it'll start to slow down those self-sabotaging behaviors. These questions are deep and definitely deserve a lot of time and consideration. I hope presenting some examples the way I answered the questions was helpful. This is just one aspect of what we talked about on today's podcast episode, but I definitely wanted to touch on shadow work journaling prompts. This is such a great way to start off your inner work journey because it is opening the door to knowing yourself fully. And let's touch on a few affirmations. I'll read each one 3 times so you can have time to write them down if they speak to you. I take the right steps to better myself. I take the right steps to better myself. I take the right steps to better myself. And that really should be a commitment that you make to yourself. Absolutely, because you're worth it. L'Oreal. A calm mind is the ultimate weapon to relax. A calm mind is the ultimate weapon to relax. A calm mind is the ultimate weapon to relax. I think we can all agree on that one. I embrace my freedom and inspire others to do the same. I embrace my freedom and inspire others to do the same. I embrace my freedom and inspire others to do the same. I am in control of my choices. I am in control of my choices. I am in control of my choices. Don't let anybody take your power from you. Always realize you're in control. We're gonna have to get some new microphones for sure. So for me, inner work is a journey, a part of my daily routine, and I hope it can be for you too. We all have the option to live our best lives without self-doubt or limiting beliefs. And I'm excited to continue living mine and for yours as well. Thank you so much, Wellness Crew, for showing up just as you are. And I will see you next time. Bye.